This morning, you got dressed. You didn't think about it, you just did it. But stop for a second, and it's genuinely bizarre. Why do humans wear clothes at all? We are the only animal on the entire planet that does this. No wolf ever wove a coat. No bird ever tailored a shirt. And the answer you think you know is almost certainly wrong. Because the real reason humans started wearing clothes isn't warmth. It isn't shame. It's something far stranger and far more human. Let's dig it up. Ask anyone why we wear clothes and you'll hear the same three answers. Warmth. Clothes stop us from freezing to death. Case closed, right? Not so fast. Humans first evolved in Africa, where the problem wasn't cold. It was heat. A sweating, sunburnt, way too hot kind of heat. For most of our story, wrapping up in fur would have cooked us alive. So warmth can't be where clothing began. It came in handy later, but it wasn't the spark. Okay, second answer. Protection. Thorns, rocks, sharp little surprises. Useful. But our bare skin handled that just fine for millions of years. Every other animal on Earth survives without a wardrobe. So could we. Which leaves modesty. The feeling that we simply must cover up. And that one is the weakest of all. Because for thousands of years, many cultures wore almost nothing and felt zero shame. Modesty didn't create clothing. Clothing created modesty. We learned to feel exposed only after we got used to being covered. So the three obvious answers don't survive a second look, which leaves a bigger question. When did this whole strange habit actually begin? And here we hit a wall. Clothes rot. Fur, leather, plant fiber, none of it lasts tens of thousands of years. There is no ancient closet to excavate, no fossil t-shirt waiting in the dirt. So for the longest time, nobody could say when clothing began. Until researchers found the answer hiding in the weirdest possible place. On our own bodies. A tiny, itchy little passenger. The louse. Because humans carry two separate kinds, head lice and body lice. And here's the beautiful trick. Body lice can only live in one place. Clothing. They cling to fabric. Take away the fabric, and they die. Which means body lice simply could not exist. Until clothing did. So in 2003, scientists read the lice DNA and asked one question. When did body lice split away from head lice and become their own species? The answer came back. Somewhere around 170,000 years ago. That is the age of clothing, recorded, of all places, in a parasite's genes. But knowing the date only makes the mystery deeper. Because making clothing is not a simple thing to do. You have to hunt an animal, skin it, scrape the fat, dry the hide, cut it, shape it. And around 40,000 years ago, we even invented the sewing needle, a tiny tool that let us stitch fitted clothes that actually sealed out the cold. But every one of those steps hides a superpower most animals don't have. You have to imagine the finished coat before it exists. You have to picture a future version of yourself, warm, wearing a thing that isn't real yet. A chimpanzee can't do that. It feels cold, and it just sits there in the cold. But early humans looked at a dead animal and saw a coat that didn't exist. That's not just survival. That is imagination, planning, abstract thought. The power to hold a future in your head and then build it with your hands. So clothing was never really about cloth. It was proof of a brand new kind of mind. And that new mind wanted something warmth could never explain. Look closely at the very oldest evidence, and a strange pattern jumps out. Long before fitted clothes, before needles, humans were already decorating themselves. Shell beads, drilled and strung. Red ochre, ground into paint 100,000 years ago. None of that keeps you warm. None of it protects you from anything. So why on earth would anyone bother? Because someone was watching. We are the most social animal that has ever lived. We survive by being seen. And clothing is a signal. It says who you are without saying a single word. Your tribe, your rank, your job. Whether you're a leader, a hunter, or taken. A great fur cloak didn't just warm a chief, it announced that he was the chief. Clothing turned the human body into a message anyone could read at a glance. And even the earliest humans understood being judged the instant they were seen. That is the real reason. Not to hide from the cold, but to be seen by each other. Warmth was the bonus. Belonging was the point. And here's the wild part. That ancient instinct never once let go of us. 170,000 years later, we are still doing the exact same thing. We pay double for a shirt just because it has the right little logo on it. We dress up for interviews, for dates, for funerals, for every first impression. Every single outfit is a sentence, and you speak it without opening your mouth. The plain figure and the styled one share the same body, but tell two different stories. So tomorrow morning, when you stand in front of your closet and you pause just for a second over what to wear, remember, you are not simply covering up your skin. You are doing the single most human thing there is, telling the world exactly who you are. Humans didn't start wearing clothes to survive the cold. We started to be somebody. And maybe that's worth remembering the next time you look in the mirror.